Welcome back to Your High School Sports. It's Chris Reddick, and I'm here at my alma mater. That's right here at the Elizabethton High School, and I'm with my favorite coach, Coach Sean Witten. Coach, thanks for being once again on Your High School Sports. We were just talking a little bit earlier, and it seems like every year it gets quicker and quicker. It's hard to believe we're here for another year.
You know, the summer preparation has gone extremely fast, and, once it gets here, it's over for it as well. So, it's an exciting time, school starting, new team, new challenge, new optimism. And, it's really great to see some guys put in the work in all season. And, anytime the greatest challenge for any coach is, when you graduate some great seniors that played a lot of experience, a lot of games, you got some program changers in there as well. The guys move on to bigger and better things, and then how do you replace those guys? And those are obviously the questions we got to answer, but we got a great group. We're excited about it, and we're excited that it's going to be here next Friday night.
Okay, well, let's talk about that excitement and break down the offense this year. We know we got some key players coming back. Talk about the offense.
Well, our strengths are in our skill positions right away. With our quarterbacks back, we got multiple receivers back. We do got to replace a record-breaking, Ryan Wetzel, 81 catches, 21 touchdowns. That's not easy to come by in just in 12 football games. But we feel that we got some guys other than Corey Carter, Evan Perkins had 46 catches, 15 touchdowns. Parker Hughes becomes a valuable guy. Drew Broom, Zach Hartley. We've got some other guys in the mix as well. Remington Tyree coming on his second year at tight end. And we also got an H-back guy you're going to see more playing, and that's Gavin Lowe is going to give us some great looks. And then two hybrid guys for us on the offensive skill positions is number 24, Austin Allen. We saw him come on strong last year towards the end. And then freshman Bryson Rollins. He's going to give us some really great stability, give us some depth at the running back position to help us move Corey around, he's done a great job in the preseason.
All right, what about the front line? How's the front line look this year?
Well, we do have some seniors. Even though we've graduated some guys, we do got some seniors returning. Clay Gwynn, Nick Miller, Aiden Taylor. We've also got in the mix. We've got a sophomore Colby Garland, and we also got Cole Morganston. And we're excited about that. We got a freshman offensive lineman that's pretty tough. His name's Connor Johnson, number 66. He's going to be really exciting to watch. He possibly could be in 4 years the best lineman we've ever had if he continues to grow and continues to to kind of blossom into what he's going to be in 4 years. So we're excited and solid about that group. We're anchored by Big Garrett Jennings, 6'7", 320. So we're excited about him. He's got a scholarship offer to Western Kentucky, so we're excited about the progress he's made. And, there's not many guys when you walk down the halls that look like Garrett, so we're fortunate to have him on our side.
Awesome. Well, let's turn the tables now to defense. Defense, one of the key aspects of the game. Talk about defense. Who's coming back?
Well, anybody who's known Elizabethton football, especially the last 4 or 5 years, we've been extremely stout on the defensive line. I think you're going to see a lot of new numbers, a lot of new faces there. We've graduated some key, valuable players. Johnny Ray Woodby, Cameron Coleman, Chandler Mullins, Joseph Collins. The kind of the puppy of that group is back. Jared Grindstaff anchors that defensive line. You're going to see some fast new faces there. Zach Hartley, number 80, Gabe DePrimo, Alex Conley, Caleb Robinson, Joseph Keckner. We've got a bunch of those guys in the mix. We're going to be a faster defense. We've been so big and so fortunate. Guys like Cameron Coleman, it's at Furman, and then you got Nestor Groves that United States West Point Academy. It kind of shows you the players that we're having to replace. So, if you've been around here a long time, Chris, you called a lot of our games. Nestor Groves' name was called a lot at the Mike linebacker position. So, we feel that we got a fast, explosive defense. We got a number of linebackers. The last several years, we've had so many defensive linemen, and we've had limited linebackers. Now we've got number of linebackers. You're going to see anywhere from 9, 10 linebackers get on the field, and it starts with our two outside senior linebackers, number 21 Kilroy Hill, number 21 Jackson Killian, number 20 Kilroy Hill, and then we're anchored by number 33 LaDarian Avery. We got number 30 Deuce Morton. We got number 8 Carson Stressman. We got number 32 Jordan Haynes, and the list goes on and on. We got a freshman, number 28 Blake Stewart. Well, I don't think we've called out this many linebackers in a long time, so it's a great thing to have, and those guys have worked extremely hard, and we're excited about the progress that those guys have made. And the more you can get speed on the field and athleticism on the field, obviously the better you're going to be.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that speed, I know that season's coming up, and we're going to start with Science Hill. Talk about going into Science Hill this game. I know the last few years you've had some close calls to where you've had them on the ropes, and we've kind of let them go. What's going on to this year? I know they've lost one of their key quarterbacks, which was a key player, but they've got a young guy coming up. But a little stout at running backs. They got some running backs they're going to be using this year. But how you going into this game?
Well, first, we've been trying to preach a message all summer long. When you play Science Hill and you open up with them, especially at home, our schedule's paved out for us this year. We got 6 home games. Our first 3 games are at home. Obviously, the weather's usually better in August, so it gives us a chance to get off to a great momentum. We only got 4 away games. Obviously, the toughest one we have there is going to Greeneville. So we feel like this is a year where we can get off to a great start. Obviously, playing Science Hill home, it's a better advantage for us. But I think the message we've been trying to preach against them is, because we have come so close, is we got to win with our brains. We got to be smart. We got to be disciplined. We got to be effective, efficient. We can't have mental mistakes. We can't be undisciplined. So I think the message we've been trying to preach, as much as we want to play hard and, you got to be flying around making plays, the 2 messages we've been preaching is, number 1, we got to win with our brains, which means we got to be smart. And 2, last year in 12 games we had 5 turnovers. We got to be more, flying around making plays. We got to create more opportunities. Now, with that said, Chris, when you want to create plays, there's some risk and reward involved in that. There's some you got to stay aggressive, and when you're really aggressive, you're going to give up a few times. So we've got to do a better job of creating turnovers defensively, giving our chance to get the ball in some playmakers' hands. So right now we've been preaching the message of being smart, and we got to find ways to create turnovers.
All right, Coach, good luck to you this week against Science Hill. I know it's always a big rivalry game. A lot of people are going to be excited. Be sure to come out and check out the Cyclones as they play Science Hill right here in Elizabethton. It's one of the premier games in the state. And, Coach, we'll be following you throughout the season because I know you got some other great games that we're going to be talking about. So, once again, we're here at Elizabethton with the Cyclones and head coach Sean Whitten. Keep watching Your High School Sports. Get the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff, always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center.
With your high school sports, I'm Bart Line. I'm joined with head Hilltopper football coach, Coach Stacy Carter. Coach, look for some big things for the Hilltoppers this season. Let's talk about that offensive unit for the Hilltoppers.
We're excited this year. It's a different offense. We've got a big offensive line, and a lot of experienced backs, 2 big tackles, and 2 really talented guards in center. And it got some really depth at running back. With Malik Bowman, Chris Thomas, and Drew Morrison, I think it's probably 3 of the best backs around, probably in the conference on the same team. So I'm very excited about that, and also I'm excited about our quarterback. He's young, but he's getting better all the time. We've lost Jalen, was a big loss, but he is really playing well right now.
Let's talk about the program as a whole. We got an opportunity to interview several players, and everybody's positive, expecting a big season out of the Hilltoppers. And from the time you started to now, tell us about how the program's evolved.
Well, it's evolved a lot of ways with, not just players, but facilities and a lot of stuff. The city's done a lot for us, and things it's really grown as a program. We've had our ups and downs. Like any team. It's different personalities every year. Some are harder than others, but I think we're at the point right now. We're always going to have a good winning season. Probably push to win 9 to 10 games every year. But now we're to the point right now, or we're going to get over that hump, or we're going to get better than that. So we're at that point and trying to hone some things up on some commitment and discipline stuff, and I think that's what's going to it's what we're going to have to take us to the next level, and I think this team is getting closer to that.
Talk about your non-conference schedule with Elizabethton and Ooltewah. Ooltewah, I guess, is on the schedule this year. Greeneville, defending state champions, on the schedule. Of course, a very talented team out at Boone. Talk about the schedule this year.
I mean, the schedule, I think if you see our first 4 games, I mean, they're as tough as any around. I mean, probably in the state. I mean, Ooltewah, Elizabethton, Greeneville. Like I say, you have Boone on there, and that's always a tough game too. Then you got the conference, which anybody can beat. It showed last year. You know, we Jefferson County was the last place team, but very good up front, and they beat us and really cost us the conference championship. I mean, that was a big loss for us, but it shows you what can happen in this league. Anybody can beat you. In the 6A football, everybody's got some people can run, and everybody's got a lot of talent. The sheer numbers really help that out. And the depth is better. So you got to be ready every game, and not just non-conference, but the conference, but you never get off week. And no off weeks of the whole season. You know, it used to be the times where you had to gear up for about 3 games. I mean, look, and some of the teams we play, like, Elizabeth and Greeneville, awesome teams, awesome coach. You know, they had to gear up for about 3 games a year, and you have to bring it every year every year in this conference, every game. So it makes it a little tougher.
Thanks for joining us, Coach Stacy Carter with the Science Hill Hilltoppers.
Thank you.
It's finally arrived, it's your wedding day. It's the moment you've been waiting all your life, it's your wedding day.
Ah, your wedding day, that one special day in your life you'll never forget. So let Venture Productions capture all those special moments at your wedding for you to treasure a lifetime. Our approach to videography is one of creativity and excellence. Call Venture Productions for your video services.
It's the moment you've been waiting all your life, it's your wedding day.
Get the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff, always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center.
Welcome back to your high school sports preview show, and Coach Courtney has joined us. They have traveled from Knoxville up here to Greeneville, where they're at Tusculum today because of the weather. But talk about fall camp for you guys, Coach.
Well, we feel like we got a lot of things done, but we'll really find out where we're at as far as being physical today going against Greeneville. We wanted to do that, went with them last year. Lightning came in, so Tusculum was good enough to let's come over here and get in the indoor facility so we still get work because we're 2 days away from Jamboree and 10 days away from opening in Bradley County, so we had to get this one in.
You know, when you scrimmage a team like Greeneville, you know what they're going to bring. Coach Ballard's going to bring strength. He's going to bring physicality. Do you want to put that out there since you just said you guys got Jamboree coming up Friday night? Yeah. You've got Bradley County. How will you handle this?
Yeah, we'll go a couple series of the ones all out for both sides. I mean, we really got, and then after that, we'll start kind of letting up a little bit as far as getting some other guys in, see the next guy in. We're going to try to get about an hour and 15, hour and a half in here, and then we'll be through. That's all we need.
I know this is you ready for the season already.
Correct.
I know you guys have already had a couple scrimmages. Talk about some of those scrimmages.
Well, we went to Ooltewah. You know what, you're going to get the same kind of guy. We're going to find guys that are tough. Guys going to find out really, so you know where you're at, and guys that's going to get. And then we went to Cookeville last week, same deal. And so we feel like this is the third one of the 3 that all going to help us get better.
Coach, I wish you all the best this year, and we'll be talking to you real soon. Coach Eddie Courtney, he's the head coach of the Farragut Admirals that traveled up from Knoxville to take on Greeneville in the scrimmage today. So we'll be back right here on Your High School Sports right after these messages.
the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center.
Welcome back to Your High School Sports. We're at today, the 12th annual KFOA Media Days here at Three Ridges Golf Course. And I've got Derek Hunt, and I asked Coach Hunt a question off camera right there. That night you won that state championship, you got that call from Furman. How was it?
Yeah, it was a good one. Obviously, Coach Quarles, he was our biggest fan all year. I know we talked to a couple times a week probably throughout the season. Of course, he was busy too. He had a job to do as well, so it was tough. But I did talk to him after the game, and I don't remember exactly what was said. I just remember it being bittersweet because I missed him. He was my role model and like a father figure to me, and I missed him being there. But at the same time, he was just so excited for us and our kids and our staff, and obviously, we're still all really close. We got to go down to Furman a couple different times throughout the year and see him, and so. But just a great feeling that night, and obviously that was one of the first people I was looking forward to talking to.
All right, Coach, let's talk about this year. Defending that state championship, you going in, you got that big old bullseye on your back. How does Maryville set for this year?
Yeah, well, first of all, we want the bullseye. You want to have to deal with that. It's a good problem to have, I think. It's going to be tough. Obviously, we lose a whole lot. The senior class was a really good class. We lost 8 starters on offense, 8 seniors, and so it'll be tough to replace them, and I don't know if we'll do it, all with, at quarterback, Dylan Hopkins, a Mr. Football finalist and obviously the state championship MVP on offense, and so we won't replace him with just one kid. It'll take our whole team to to replace that kind of production. Obviously, and we've had a great off season. Our kids have worked extremely hard, and I think they're as hungry as they ever have been. Okay. But at the same time, it's I think we saw this week starting out, kind of getting back into the flow. We've got a long way to go, to be where we need to be, and the teams that we're going to be playing week in, week out with our schedule, how tough that is. We've definitely seen how far we're going to have to go.
When you're at the top of your game every year, year in, year out, 2018, this is the time, like you said, you find out who wants to play and who doesn't want to play.
That's right. Yeah, well, when you put the pads on, a lot of questions are answered.
You got to bring it, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly right. You'll have kids that look different in the spring, and it looks like they've maybe turned a corner, and then you put the pads on, and that may not be the case. And so, and I think that's the question right now is who's going to play quarterback? Who's going to play quarterback? And it's hard to. We've got a couple kids 2 juniors who are competing for that job, but you just don't really know until you put the pads on. And because the 7-on-7 stuff is good, you can get some good work, but it's not real football, and so it's hard for me to become a big fan of 7-on-7. Although you do get some good things out of it, it's fool's gold in a lot of ways, and so when we put the pads on and start scrimmaging and start banging on each other a little bit, maybe we'll find out really where we're at this year.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming by, and you brought us a couple players. Bring them on. Introduce them.
So this is Garrett Everett. He's one of our returning senior defensive ends. Okay. All right, so we're going to be a senior this year, defensive end. And then this is Bryson Tiefteller. He's a senior as well and played running back for us last year, and so we'll be playing running back for us this year as well. And two kids that we're really, really glad are coming back.
All right. Well, gentlemen, let's step in here and let's talk a little bit about things. Winning that state championship, that's what you're supposed to do at Maryville. But what's the expectations this year?
I mean, obviously, expectation number one is to repeat. We want to get back there. We don't feel comfortable being there once and saying, hey, we got our one ring. It's time to go to college. No. We definitely want to get back there and prove that we deserve to be there.
And when you deserve to be there, Coach said a couple things there. When you put the pads on, you know who wants to play and who don't want to play. How was spring practice, and how are you getting ready for the season? 7-on-7, forget that. Let's talk about real football.
Yeah, I think it went well, and just can't wait to get back out there and prove to everyone that we're still one of the best teams in the state and that we're coming for state again.
There you go. My last question. I like to leave this. If you were a superhero on the football field, who would you be?
I'm gonna have to go with Flash.
Oh man, that's 2 flashes.
I'd definitely go with I'd go with Batman or someone cool like that.
I was gonna say Thor for you.
Thor? All right, that sounds pretty good. That sounds good.
All right, Coach Hunt, his 2 players, they're looking to repeat from Maryville, so make sure you stay right here. We're coming right back here from the 12th annual KFOA Media Days.
Get the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff, always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center. Hey, welcome back to Your High School Sports. This is Chris Reddick, and now on the line we have the reigning state champion head coach of the Greeneville Green Devils, Coach Kane Ballard, on the line at this time. Coach, how are you?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thanks for taking a little time to be on the show for our little preview show for this year. It's hard to believe we're into a new season, but first I want to get right into it with you. I know you're in between practices here. First of all, just tell us about the momentum coming off a championship season. I know you got a lot of players coming back. What's this season look like?
Well, obviously a lot of excitement with so many returning players and, having such a tough schedule to begin with, I think has kept our guys motivated and hungry. And, we know we got some tough challenges right out of the gate. So, it's been a good summer, been a good preseason for us. We've been able to stay relatively healthy and just looking forward to getting going.
Good. You just mentioned something very key. I believe that was key to your success last year, and that's a tough schedule. Did that tough schedule last year, did that really give the guys what they needed to have a challenge going into the playoffs?
Well, I think so. Anytime you can beat good teams, it gives you confidence going forward. And, I think we were able to win some big games, obviously, early on and got our kids believing that, we could go do this thing. And, I think it's big to play that competition, but, you got to stay healthy too, which I mentioned before. Last year we were able to stay healthy and, especially in key positions. And, that's obviously a key again.
Well, speaking of key positions, I know a lot of people's got their eye on your son. I know it's hard to brag on him, but he's one tough quarterback that, a lot of people are, expecting big things out of him. How is he taking this into stride, knowing you being his dad and his coach and already having a state championship? How's his mentality this year?
Well, Cade's a pretty focused young man, and, he knows what the expectations are and been around this program for a long, long time. I think he's just excited that, his senior year is finally here and, he gets to play it with some teammates that he's been around since they were 6-7 years old, and just a lot of excitement for Cade. I don't think he feels any added pressure. I think he's always had pressure, obviously, in the situation he's in, but he's excited to get going.
So I guess he's used to it. Like you said, you've had him since birth, so it's like probably have another coach on the field. So yeah, I'm sure he's able to handle it. Well, just before we let you go, we know you got a big game coming up this week. Kind of set the tone for the game coming up.
Well, just what a fun way to start it. At Dobbins Bennett, one of the nicer stadiums in the state, I think. Obviously they've got a new head coach at the top, and I know they're hungry to get that get Coach Christian his first win, and just going to be a ton of excitement surrounding the game. It's always a big game when Greeneville and Dobyns-Bennett get together, and we know they'll be laying low, waiting on us to get up there, and but it should be an awesome atmosphere for both teams and both schools, communities to go play in. Just an awesome way to kick off 2018.
Oh, no doubt. Another premier game that is going to have a lot of eyes on this Friday. So hopefully everybody will be able to check that game out if they've got nothing to do. I know there's a lot of great games coming up this week, but a lot of eyes will be on that game. Well, Coach, once again, thank you for taking a little bit of time to be on Your High School Sports. And like I said, a lot of people are excited about the Green Devils once again this year. So we'd like to end by just saying good luck to you.
Well, Chris, thanks for having me, and appreciate what you guys do.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We'll be right back with more Your High School Sports right after this. Get the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center.
We're still here at the KFOA 2018 Media Days. Well, I'm excited. I got my alma mater here, Morristown East. Coach Wells is with us today. Coach, good to see you.
Good to be here today.
Right. Well, I got to ask you this. Being from my hometown, we're going to beat West this year?
Well, of course, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We expect to win the game. We have a lot of respect for him, and Coach Sanders and I talk a lot, and we're good friends, and just got through talking to him, matter of fact.
Right.
And thing is, I wish them when we're not playing them, I wish them well. But that's the game that starts the season, and our kids. It's a great game to get ready for as you go through the summer, and so our kids looking forward to it.
Now we have Coach from Morristown West, Coach Sanders. Good to see you today. How you doing?
Thanks for having us. We're happy to be here.
Well, I know, Coach Sanders, that you have high expectations. You're definitely going to push your players. And being from Morristown, I have to ask you one question. I asked Coach Wells here a minute ago, said he was just talking to you. Morristown East, Morristown West is a game that a lot of people know about. One of the biggest football games in East Tennessee. What are your expectations for that game, and what kind of emphasis do you put on that for your season?
From an emphasis standpoint, it's another game for us. We've always treated like that. We're going to line up. We're going to focus on Morristown West. Right. And we're going to be the very best that we can be. And just like every game, we expect to go out and get a win. And that's outstanding. That's what we're going to do.